and he I recently talked to him and he's needing some help.
Let me ask you this. You're here for hitting your dad? All right. And according to this, it says, I asked the victim what had occurred, and he explained that you and he were arguing over tires inside the garage and that you threw a large tire and hit the
No,
victim with it.
that was
The
him.
victim confronted the suspect for nearly hitting him, then proceeded to go inside his truck to retrieve his cell phone to call 911. Yes.
I wrote taking into consideration two cases. We will be rejecting those cases, but it's gonna be for extreme.
All right.
And what about the no conflict with it?
Is so as part of the plea, we the state were asking for no contact order, but it sounds like the PSI report would ask harmful injuries.
Right.
And in defenses as well. I'm gonna have to leave it on that one because I can't agree with that.
All right. So the causes, where it says causes taken into consideration, that should be causes rejected. All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 007560, State of Texas versus Guadalupe Timothy Roque. Could I have parties announced for the record? State, defense.
Richard Garcia for the defense, ready, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Roque? All right. You entered a plea bargain agreement where punishment is to be assessed at 5 years. The state is recommending community supervision. The cases being rejected are AL 2147977 and 2178735. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, $200 fine, and there's no application for deferred adjudication. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and the TAP evaluation? State?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
Well, no objections.
All right. Any witnesses? State? Defense?
No witnesses, Judge.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Well, Your Honor, after speaking to Mr. Roque and reading the PSI, it sounds like his father is ill and needs Guadalupe's help. And if you do send him to safety or SATIF, he'll be away for at least 6 months. And it sounds like the father is seriously ill right now and needs his help. They lost their mother a couple of years ago. And then the PSI indicates that they spoke with Mr. Roque Jr., the father, and he wants a no harmful or injurious contact order, and he wants his son to come home. And so, and Guadalupe here doesn't really want to go to SATIF or SafeP, but would be willing to do outpatient. I don't know. You want to speak?
You want to raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Okay.
All right, what do you wish to say?
My dad he said like close to death and I recently talked to him and he's needing some help.
Let me ask you this. You're here for hitting your dad? All right, and according to this, it says, I asked the victim what had occurred, and he explained that you and he were arguing over tires inside the garage and that you threw a large tire and hit the
No,
victim with it.
that was
The
him.
victim confronted the suspect for nearly hitting him, then proceeded to go inside his truck to retrieve his cell phone to call 911. So,
My dad threw the tire.
Okay. well, let me explain to you where we are today. Where we are today is, one, I'm not going to lift the no contact order. So if I will allow him to speak to him on the telephone if he wants to speak to him on the phone, but in person contact, that's not going to be allowed. They think you need inpatient treatment according to the TAP evaluation. So they're The recommendation is for safety, followed by aftercare. So that's what's going to happen. Now, the other option, if you want to do something else where I send you to prison for 5 years, I can send you to prison for 5 years.
It's the aftercare treatment though. Is it like a
3 months.
yeah?
So 6 months, 3 months.
Yes.
There's another one though called treatment. What's it called? Recovery, lifetime recovery.
Yes, but you're going to safety.
Can I go to lifetime recovery?
You're going to safety. Okay.
Take it.
All right. And I see, and I want you to know, I read the TAP evaluation and I see where your father wants you out because your father wants to help you find a job and help you find a place to live. You're an adult. That's what you're supposed to be doing yourself, not your parents. You understand? All right. Anything else from either side? Any
No.
questions?
We are actually, that's a good solution, giving BSI the state to the officer that he does have cancer.
Mhm.
And I think it's a good balance for that. I don't get to communicate over the phone.
All right. The court will find you guilty, sentence you to $200 fine. That will be probated. The state will reject AL 214-7977 and AL 217-8735. There's to be proof of employment within 45 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no in-person contact with Guadalupe Roque, the father. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. Safety followed by aftercare. And probation. You can do a referral to felony drug court. And all of this is to take place in custody. If he's not accepted into felony drug court, then he's to be transferred to safety. Anger management. No unsupervised contact with minors. 120 sober meetings in 120 days. Field visits 1 time per month for 8 months. 100 hours of community service restitution. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right to Appeal? With your attorney, did you understand it and sign it? Yes.
The term.
Thank you. All right, the court is going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 6 years. All right, because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
It's 5 years.
Yes. Well, you're going to be on probation for 6 years. If you are unsuccessful or a motion to revoke is filed against you, then you could potentially be going to prison for 5 years. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
But you could also